All right, how's it going, guys? I wanted to jump on real quick and do a Q&A, but I'm also really hungry, so I'm going to make a smoothie, and I thought you might want to make a smoothie with me. So nice to see you guys. For those of you who are new, my name is Heather Rodriguez. I'm an herbalist, I'm a nutritionist, I'm also a natural fertility specialist. I help couples who are preparing for pregnancy, for conception, for those who are wanting to have healthier pregnancies. That is one of my main focuses and one of my main passions. So you are with me here in my new house, in my new kitchen. Thanks so much, Lorraine. So I'm really excited to have good lighting now and space in order to do a bigger, wider variety of videos with you. So oh, you've been eating carrots every day. That's awesome. So you caught Liz's Periscope on carrots being a fertility food. So thanks so much. Thank you guys so much for all the kind words. That's awesome. So I'm going to make a smoothie, and I'm going to answer some fertility questions that you guys may have while I'm making my smoothie. So, oh, it's so great to see you guys. So someone's making fermented carrots. That's really cool. I did that once, and I thought they were great. Am I gluten-free? I'm not gluten-free, but I don't eat gluten just because of what I tend to eat more of. It tends to not be foods that naturally have gluten in it, but I don't really focus on it. You did it. Is there any food that could jumpstart a period? Just getting off birth control and no sign. Okay, so we'll just jump into the questions. For those of you who are new, my resources are naturalfertilityinfo.com and naturalfertilityshop.com. So someone was asking, what are some foods that can jumpstart their period? And I'm just going to start making my smoothie while we're talking. So foods that jumpstart the period, there's not really a lot of foods that I would say are going to cause you to have your period, to jumpstart your period. I think there are some foods that you want to make sure that you're including in your diet so that you have a healthy period. And some of those are going to be healthy fats. So making sure hemp seed is kind of what I'm really into right now. Hemp seed, chia seed, flax seeds, cod liver oil, any omega-3 essential fatty acid is going to be important so that you can, whoops, I'm getting messages, so that you can produce hormones, because that's part of the whole menstrual cycle. But there's not going to be a particular food that you're going to eat today and tomorrow you're going to get your period. So it's going to be more of a lifestyle change by eating healthy foods, getting enough fiber, all those things for hormonal health. And then you can add herbs that are going to help jumpstart it. So RejuvaFlow is a fantastic herbal formula that I put together that will help to jumpstart if you're just needing some stimulation and circulation to the reproductive system. But if you have an underlying hormonal imbalance, that's not going to be the only thing you need to do. There's lifestyle changes that you could do as well. All right, so far in this smoothie, I'm putting in 3 bananas. It's taking me a while. Start taking tribulus today. Yes, and there's a couple different things like tribulus, Vitex. There's a couple different herbs, the fertility cleanse, that people do get their periods after starting, but it's not really, those aren't directly designed for that, but because they address, let me get a cloth, but because they address hormonal balance, then people naturally get their periods. All right, who else has a question? So not a particular food, but diet plays a huge role. What about bacterial overgrowth and having too much fruit? As it pertains to what? I don't think that it's necessarily going to be directly from too much fruit. It depends on what your whole diet is like. It's not just one thing. It's kind of the whole picture. You're eating a lot of processed foods, or you're eating processed meats, processed grains, breads, those types of things. And how's your flora? All of that. Well, I'm not going to go into candida and parasites on this Periscope because it's going to be for fertility specifically. Sorry. Can you continue to eat maca and royal jelly through the 2-week wait into pregnancy? So the thing with maca, and let's see what else I have put in this. I'm going to put peaches. So the thing with maca and royal jelly during pregnancy is they haven't been tested. There hasn't been testing done on pregnant people while they're on maca, or while they're pregnant and using maca and royal jelly. So on that hand, we would say no, it's best to just do very simple things. I'm going to use frozen strawberries. It's better to use simple things like nourishing herbs and focusing on diet, because those things haven't been tested during pregnancy. But it's up to you what you're going to do. I don't personally. I did a little bit of maca. I didn't do any royal jelly because I was so nauseous. There was no way I could do anything besides eat yogurt. I mean, that's basically all I could do for most of my pregnancy. But it's not really necessary. There's not really a big need to take royal jelly or maca during your pregnancy. You want to be focusing more on eating nutrient-rich foods and getting a lot of those nutrients in more so than using those two particular herbs. All right, so next in my smoothie, so I've got 3 bananas, strawberries, I think I'll put a double bag, some peaches. Taking maca before pregnancy is excellent. Yes, that is one of my favorite go-tos. It's something I do daily for energy. This is actually, I took our maca and I put it in a jar. I'm going to put that in the smoothie. Yeah, it's fantastic for both men and women. All right, let me see if you have any more questions. Go ahead and post them. All right, so putting some maca in there. Protein powder. And then I'm going to put water and hemp seeds. Where did I put my hemp seeds? Do all fruits need to be organic? You know, it's great if you can do organic. Organic is awesome, but it's better to eat fruit than to not. So you just have to see, this is the hemp seeds that I'm going to put in. You just have to see where you're at, you know, financially. If you're not going to eat fruit because it's too expensive organic, then buy it conventional. It's great to buy things organic. I think organic's really important because a lot of pesticides are linked to fertility issues and sperm issues. So it is important, but there's a scale of importance. So do what you can. It's more important to eat fruits and vegetables than not. And organic is best if you can. But, you know, it's not black and white. Everyone's life's not exactly perfect and doing everything perfect. I'm also going to put some vitamin C powder. This is the vitamin C powder I currently like. What is a good fruit to help to nourish the fallopian tubes? Again, there's not a particular fruit that's going to help the fallopian tubes directly. So you have to understand the way that nutrition works and the way that we approach natural fertility is we're helping to support the body so the body can function properly. So I can't tell you to eat, oh, pineapple is going to be amazing for blocked fallopian tubes. It doesn't work like that. When it comes to blocked fallopian tubes, that's scar tissue. Diet isn't going to have a huge impact on scar tissue. It is going to have an impact on the health of your fertility. It is going to have an impact on ovulation, all these different things. But when it comes to scar tissue, there's not a whole lot that you can do when you have scar tissue. So there's things such as massage, systemic enzymes, those other things that may be able to help that depending on where the blockage is located. Sometimes surgery is what's going to be needed depending on where the blockage is. So when it comes to that, of course you need to be eating healthy because you're planning on getting pregnant, but that's not something that I feel diet can really have a big impact on because it's scar tissue that's blocking that. What's the maximum amount of caffeine while trying to conceive? So did I put this in already? I don't know. Did I put this in? The maximum amount, I would say, is 2 cups a day. From the research that I've done, I've seen that anything above, okay, thank you, anything above 2 cups increases the risk of miscarriages. So if you've had miscarriages before, I would cut out coffee completely. If you haven't, you're just getting healthier for pregnancy. You don't necessarily have to cut it out. So I'm going to put a little bit of vitamin C in there because it's winter, or maybe a lot, because it's winter and we're wanting to boost our immune system. All right, and then I'm just going to put water, and then I'm going to blend it. Super easy. This really takes me not even a minute when I'm not talking to you guys. So I'm going to just blend this up real quick. Okay, what were some of those other questions? Sorry, it's going to be loud for a second. Oh my god, guys, I'm such a dork. I forgot to put my greens in. Okay, so someone was asking, oh, that's so awesome. You came because Lorraine shared. That's awesome. Thank you, Lorraine, for sharing. So someone was asking about taking primrose oil all arginine for the past 4 months and have still no fertile cervical mucus suggestions. So if it's not happening because of those supplements, then what else may be occurring? What else may be going on within your body? Are you, might you have an acidic situation? Are you drinking enough water? There's a lot of different reasons someone might not have cervical mucus. Can I quickly run through what I put in my smoothie? I put 3 bananas, a package of strawberries, some peaches, and now I'm going to put about half a bunch of kale. I would have actually preferred to put this in first because it blends much better that way, but I'm kind of a space cadet when I'm talking and answering questions and trying to multitask. So I'm going to put this in now, but you don't have to put this many greens in. I put this many, it's 50% placenta, of course. I put this many greens in because I try to get a lot of greens in, and I've worked my way up to this. And there's no placenta in this smoothie, by the way. Can DIM make you ovulate late? I don't believe so. So DIM is a compound that's going to help the body to get rid of excess hormones. It's not something that's going to have a direct effect on specific functions of the body. It's more of a cleansing type action. It's as if you ate a lot of broccoli. So no, I would not think so. Ovulation is going to be affected by a lot of different factors. How do you get your period back after weaning from breastfeeding? So it might take some time. How long has it been since you've stopped breastfeeding? I got my period back the next week. I got my period back, what was it? The next month after I gave birth. I didn't get a break. What are signs of hormonal balance? So 2 months since you stopped breastfeeding. You know, it might take some time if you've completely stopped breastfeeding. You can do some things to help with that. You want to increase the fiber. You might maybe want to do a liver cleanse, maybe a fertility cleanse, or you could just be patient. There's nothing wrong that your period hasn't come back yet, but you can do some things to help it along, bringing the body back into hormonal balance, because it just takes a long time after you're pregnant to come back into balance. My goodness. And breastfeeding, it takes a very long time, but you can help that along with herbs. You could help that along with liver supporting herbs specifically. How to balance ovulation when you have one ovary? Is that what you were asking about? I saw your question from before. If you have one ovary, that generally the body's you're going to ovulate every other month. Maybe because you have one, your body will adjust, and maybe you'll ovulate from the one ovary every month. I don't know. But I would definitely have some way of tracking ovulation to see, do you know if you're ovulating every other month because of that one ovary? You had one removed, so it's been hard, and you have hypothyroidism. So are you tracking your ovulation? So see how, I don't know if you can see this, because I put the kale in late, it's all like, that doesn't look great, right? It's all like spotty instead of blended in. So put your greens in first, and then put all your stuff on top, and it'll blend a lot better. Drink it anyways. Okay. Yeah, greens first. Or it gets chunky, that's the word. Stopped birth control a year ago, but haven't been spotting since then. You haven't gotten your period since then? What are signs of hormonal imbalance? There's so many signs of hormonal imbalance. I bet a lot of those, a lot of you on here, okay. I bet a lot of you on here could probably post some signs of hormonal imbalance that you've experienced, because someone was just asking about that. That is a Vitamix blender. So quickly, some signs of hormonal imbalance are periods that are off. They're too short, they're too long, they're too heavy, they're too light. You're spotting, you have acne breakouts, irregular periods, mood swings, you're not ovulating. What else, ladies? Growing hair, places that you would rather it not grow. There's a lot of different signs of hormonal imbalance, so it shows up for everyone differently. A lot of reasons people can't get pregnant is because of something that pertains to that. Overweight, when it's too short, when your period's too short in length, cervical mucus, severe acne, see, great. Yeah, so everyone's kind of sharing some of the signs that they know of to show for hormonal imbalance. Body fat over 24% in women, body fat under. So tips on keeping good, only one ovary. So the same, it's going to be the same. The only thing is that you might have less opportunities. So I would track ovulations so you know if you're ovulating every other month, or if maybe your body is amazingly shifted, and you're going to still ovulate every month from that one. So that would be the first thing, is I would track ovulation and do the same thing for egg health that everyone else is doing, and for fertility. You just have, and some people are working with one because they have blocked fallopian tubes as well. So that's something that a lot of people are going through, because one side is blocked anyways, with scar tissue because of a blocked fallopian tube or ectopic pregnancy or a cyst. So it's actually, you know, different people are going through a similar situation as you for different reasons. Oh, I missed you guys too. I missed you too. So I'm sorry, I just missed a bunch of great questions. So you're not, is not having a menstrual cycle normal when you go months or a year without on no birth control? So I would say no, it is not normal to not have a period for a year. Once you get off birth control, it can take a while for the body. Can you guys see me? Someone's saying that I cut out. It can take a while for the body to get back on track. A year is actually quite long. We have a whole article and guide on how to recover from birth control once you've stopped using it. So please check out naturalfertilityinfo.com. There's a whole guide to it. But fertility cleansing is going to be one of the first steps. Shifting your diet is going to be another. Not forcing the body to have a period by getting back on birth control is going to be key. So there's a couple different steps that you can take. You need the cleanse, yeah. Your OB wants to try birth control to regulate the cycle. And that makes no sense, right? Because you just got off of it, and that's what caused it. So when you listen to this, I know a lot of people face this, is where they will be told to use birth control to regulate their menstrual cycle in order to get pregnant. This makes no sense, because birth control is preventing you from getting pregnant. Birth control is forcing the body to have a cycle, to do these things. Whereas, don't we want the body to function properly? Don't we want to help assist the body so that it's getting a period for a real reason? Because you've built up uterine lining, you've had a monthly cycle, and that needs to shed. We don't want to just force a fake period. We want to have a real period because of what that means. It means a full monthly cycle is completed. It means you've ovulated, you've built that lining for implantation. All of that does not happen when you're using birth control to control a cycle and to mimic and fake a cycle. There's no benefit to it, because then they're going to come in with other medications and have to force ovulation. They're going to have to force all kinds of things, your hormonal levels to maintain that pregnancy, all of that. So that's my take on it. Do what your heart feels and what your gut is telling you. But it just makes no sense to use birth control to regulate a cycle when you're trying to get pregnant. So Vitex, a lot of people are mentioning Vitex. That is something to do some research into, definitely. But Vitex works by supporting the pituitary gland, which is going to give a lot of signals on which hormones are supposed to function at what time. So that's a very helpful herb. It takes some time for that herb to work, but it's one of my favorites. Yeah, your doctor told you that too. That's what's in their toolbox, you know. What to do for spotting before the period? There's a couple questions with that I'd need to know. I would need to know what's your diet like, what's your stress like, and what's your period like. Spotting before, for some people, is normal. If you have a very light period, then you might need to increase some of your good fats. You might need to increase some things in your diet. Are there any birth control methods that I do recommend? Natural family planning. Oh, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's been so long. Diaphragm, condoms, those types of things that are not hormonally driven. That's what I would do more research into. Vitex brand, please. Fertilica Vitex. That's what we use. You can get it at naturalfertilityshop.com. All right, just a second. I'm really thirsty. Lorraine agrees. Yes, thank you. What about a heavy cycle? What about it? What to do? I know, Lorraine. You know, it's funny because you're going to see this Maca. Excuse me. You're going to see this Maca kick in. And I was like, what does my smoothie taste like? It tastes like peaches and strawberries. Yeah, it tastes like peaches and strawberries, so it's really good. Yours lasts 28 days. Is that weird? Your menstrual cycle or your actual period is 28 days. Wish all the OB would learn more. I know. You know what's really cool is recently there was a call we got from one of our customers that we've been working with. She did a consultation program and she'd been doing it for a couple months. She had called us before and told us she lost tons of weight. She was feeling amazing. She went in to go see her doctor. to prepare for her IVF. She had already done one. They did not, they were not able to pull very many eggs, many follicles did not stimulate. It wasn't a great cycle. So anyway, she was doing our program. She went in and the doctor said, she said, I almost did not recognize you because of how much weight you lost and how much weight you lost and how good you look. And so then they were seeing how her cycle was going, and it was going so well that she went in and she was showing her the supplements so that she knew which one she needed to stop before she started her meds and her stimulation cycle and all of that. And the doctor actually wanted to keep her on everything because of how well she was doing. Because we always tell our customers who are going in, before you start any fertility medications, you need to talk with your doctor and they're going to tell you what to stay on and what to stay off. So anyway, so she went in and she had her staying on all of them because of how well she was doing. And her doctor asked to look at the consultation that she got in the program. And her doctor was very impressed and is wanting to start doing this type of preparation for all of her patients because of the difference that was happening for her. So that's a hope in the direction for connecting with OBs, connecting with REs, so that we're able to work together and to get the best results for everybody. So Maca is an adaptogen, yes. And I use it for energy, but I'm a lightweight. I can't use caffeine. Taking Woman's Best Friend, Wobenzyme, natural supplements, does it help tube blockages? So those are going to help to support the body have normal functioning within the fallopian tubes. It's up to the body to help break down that scar tissue. It's up to the body to help increase that circulation. Those things are great things that are going to help to support the body in that. I'm on the pill. Is this a good idea? It's up to you. If you're on the pill because it depends on what your goals are. You know, if you're currently not wanting to get pregnant and you know that natural family planning and all those things are going to be too hard for you, you know, that's really up to you. That's not something I can just say. Should you continue Maca through ovulation after? Yes, Maca should be used all month long. You can take it on your period. You can take it all month long. I personally don't use it after 1 o'clock because I get a lot of energy from it. Some of you may not feel that, but I just get super jazzed from it, so I don't take it after 1. How to regulate hormones. So that's a big topic. Let me just block that guy. So that's a big topic that I can't exactly go into in one periscope. I think that could be its own periscope. Does Maca help thyroid? So there's a couple things with Maca and thyroid. You'll read when it comes to hyperthyroidism, some people are really against Maca, some people are for Maca. I've seen great studies for Maca and hypothyroidism, but when it comes to immunologically based thyroid issues, then you may need to do some more research on that, see how you feel about it. But one of the things that you are allowed to state straight out that Maca does is that it helps to support the thyroid. That's because there's been plenty of studies in order to make that claim. In the natural health industry, there's a certain way that we can talk about herbs and talk about things, and there has to be studies behind them when we talk about them in that way. And one of the things with Maca is that it supports the thyroid, that you are clearly allowed to say, so that's very cool. If you're on a budget, what are the best fruits and supplements to start with? So if you're on a budget, I would start, well, fruits and vegetables are inexpensive. So get those no matter what else you're eating, just add those to your diet. The 21-day fertility diet challenge is a really good way to do that. But bananas are super cheap. Bananas are fantastic, inexpensive. Apples are inexpensive, oranges, anything. Just whatever season it is and what price things are. Those are going to be good. Avocados are really inexpensive generally year-round. Those are some things. And then if you are on a budget and you're wanting to pick one herb or one thing, I say not Vitex. Maca is a great overall adaptogenic supportive herb that helps for so many different things. It helps to support the endocrine system, first and foremost. And the endocrine system is everything when it comes to hormones. So that's kind of where I would start if I was on a super budget. But personally, I would save up. I would do it right. If you're trying to get pregnant and you've been trying for a while, I would just cut something out. I'd cut cable out. I'd cut some expenses elsewhere, and I would actually put it into this because medical fertility treatments are at least $14,000 for one cycle. Success rate's around 30%. And you don't know if it's going to work, but you're also wanting to optimize. And if you are going through medical fertility treatments, you want to optimize those treatments because you're investing so much. So I would just shift things around is what I would personally do for that time period that I'm doing it and focusing on the program. The frozen fruit I used was organic, yes. Let's see. There's so many long questions. After having a period for several, they go by very quick on my end. If you could repost this. When you post a question, please copy and then you can paste it. Good herbs for hypothyroid. Well, there's a couple different things with hypothyroidism. There are good herbs. I really like ashwagandha for hypothyroidism, but there also are amino acids, and there's dietary changes, and then also you have to just be monitored and see what route you want to go to help supplement your thyroid. It's not an area of expertise that I have. I know and have experience with hypothyroidism as it pertains to fertility. In overall general hypothyroidism, I would not say that is my forte. But ashwagandha is one of my go-tos, as is maca. Tyrosine is another great herb for that, as well as possibly taking Synthroid or Armagard or whatever, I think it's Armor, whatever thyroid medication. Taking ashwagandha for hypothyroid, that's your personal thing. Excellent. T3, you know, I can't look at your numbers and tell you if that's normal or not. It's a big picture of T3, T4, TSH, all of that needs to be monitored and looked at by your doctor, and they need to tell you, you know, if that's where you're at with that. Which foods are good for iodine? That's a really good question. That's been something I've been focusing on lately. Seaweeds. Seaweeds are, a lot of foods are fortified with iodine, but seaweed is a great natural source for iodine. Nori rolls is a great way to get that in. Yeah, and it's also found in, what else is it found in? It's fortified in cereals. It's fortified in bread. Yeah, so full thyroid panel is going to be where it's at. Kelp powder, that's a good one. Because you can't just look at the individual numbers. You have to look at all the numbers when it comes to hypothyroidism and your symptoms, how you're feeling, etc. So I would suggest on working with someone, if you have hypothyroidism, working with someone that can do blood tests. As an herbalist, I cannot do blood testing. So that's something you need for hypothyroidism. Yeah. Anything good for tinnitus? Helichrysum is something I've heard, but I don't know. Raw fruits and veggies, fresh juice smoothies, you're off meat, white flowers. Very cool. Is Rainbow Light a good organic prenatal? Rainbow Light's, my totally honest opinion, Rainbow Light's okay. It's better than most. I really like Mega Food. I really like whole food based. Garden of Life, some people really like. My go-to is Mega Food, but Rainbow Light's up there. It's like one of the top 5. It just depends on how you feel. Some people get really nauseous on different multis, so then you just switch it over. Having had no period for several years, how long to give Vitex to start working with getting your period back? So Ashley, Vitex is something that's good, but it's not everything for getting the period back. There's a lot of different things you need to look at. I'd be curious as to if you've made dietary changes and what those have been. Have you done any type of cleansing? Are you focusing on cleansing the liver, helping the body with excess estrogen? Are you doing any of those steps to help with that? So Vitex is great. It might be one of the things to look into for getting your period back, but it's not my first go-to. It's actually where I go to more for ovulation than for period. So that's, you know, there's a lot of questions I want to ask. All organic and vegan, no cleanse. So cleansing might be a good place to start. Also, where are you weight-wise? Might you be overweight? Might you be underweight? That has a big impact in having a period as well. Do you have any known fertility issues? You might want to book a consultation, fertility consultation, so all those questions can be asked directly to you and they can be answered and a program can be put together. If you've not had your period for a very long time, there might be some other factors that you want to go see a doctor for and to see what might be causing that. Could you possibly have PCOS? Could there be, you know, I mean, there's so many questions. It's not just like, okay, Vitex is what you need. There's a lot of different reasons, and having no period is just like the answer to all of these things. Is the body speaking to you about an underlying imbalance? And so it's not just about getting your period back. It's about the body being healthy and being back on track and having your whole monthly cycle work well for you. Consultations, I believe, are $95. And they're a 3-month to 6-month program. It's a recorded consultation. You fill out a very long health questionnaire. I know a lot of you have done them if you want to speak to it. But you fill out a very long health questionnaire and a program is put together for you based on your personal situation and where you're at. And then it's recorded. The herbalist is actually records and talks to you about each part of your program and why you do that, why it was recommended for you, and some tips and tricks on different parts of it. You're in London. No, I personally, Ashley, it's not with me. It's with one of our 2 herbalists right now. I'm not able to do consultations anymore. Is there any essential oil for Vitex? Okay, so essential oil Vitex. That's something that I've been experimenting with is, can you overdose on potassium? I think it'd take a lot. So Vitex essential oil, something to be careful with. It's something I've been experimenting with, but is very, very, very potent. So it's not something that I would say to do just yet. I think that the capsules or herbal extract, whatever it is going to be the way to go, because we know how well that works and what dosage. Whereas with the Vitex essential oil, I feel like you can get too much very easily. But it's something I'm experimenting with because it's very exciting and it has a nice spicy smell to it. But be careful with it if you're going to try. Yeah, so very potent. My only problem with that is being able to dose it correctly. How about Vitex? I don't know what EM on skin. Do I eat a lot of salads? Yes, I do. I eat a salad every day. Every day. And then I juice, and then I drink a smoothie, and then I eat food too. Can you just place on the back of your neck 1 drop? See, the thing with that is 1 drop might be too much. That's the problem. So Vitex, when you're taking 1,000 milligrams in a capsule, you know exactly what you're getting. But when you're taking a drop, that is, you don't know how much that is. That is such a could be such a concentrated amount that could be equivalent to 3 to 5 capsules. So when it comes to essential oils and Vitex, I'm still experimenting. I think it has to be diluted because it can be too strong. So I don't know yet. I'm still experimenting with it. All right, so I'll take another question, and then I'm gonna get going with my day. But it's so good to see you guys. What do I think of cashew milk? I think it's great. I think we're doing some research on seed cycling and different seeds, using different seeds to help promote hormonal balance and to get different minerals, because seeds are full of so many different things we need for fertility that I want to start kind of helping you guys incorporate that more into your diet. No, it's just $95 once for the consultation. And the program that's given to you is 3 months worth. Who does the consults? Daleen isn't with us any longer. Daleen has, she was with us for 7 years. She's amazing. And she's just moved on to other things. She wants to work more with growing herbs and working outside with them. So Daleen is not doing the consultations. Maria and Sarah Abernathy. Maria helped and Sarah Abernathy are, and they're absolutely amazing. Sarah Abernathy used to work with Dr. Linda Page with Healthy Healing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that book. It's one of the first and still the most popular natural health books out there. And Maria is amazing. She's a scientist as well as an herbalist. So they're incredible. Have I heard of using white sage to lower prolactin? I have not, but I've heard of using sage to wean and to help stop breastfeeding. So maybe that's how it works, but I don't know a whole lot about using it for that. What is a good dose of serapeptase? I don't know that off the top of my head. Would that help with what? So consultations are for no matter what. They're for every person, no matter what's going on fertility-wise. They are only for fertility, though. We do get some people asking us to do consultations for other things. But it doesn't matter kind of what's going on for you. A consultation can be used. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get going. For those of you who were asking again, this is 3 bananas, probably a peach or 2, bag of strawberries, kale, half a bunch of kale, maca, protein powder, some vitamin C, and water, and hemp seeds. So that's my smoothie for the day. You lost a tube and the other is blocked. You lost 30 pounds, so you're pregnant fast. So do some research on our site about blocked fallopian tubes. That would be where I would start, and looking into those different things and see what place you can start, and picking one thing and starting with that. So I thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have any questions that were not answered, or you'd like to talk with one of our herbalists, or have questions about products, you can reach us at naturalfertilityshop.com. You can call us, you can chat, you can email, any of those things. And Natural Fertility Info is where you're going to find all of our info. We have, I think, almost 900 pages of guides and information now about fertility. Everything to do with helping to support fertility health, helping to support you in getting pregnant, sustaining that pregnancy, having a healthy pregnancy. But I thank you guys. It was so great to see you, and I will see you again soon. Have a good one.